sometimes we get things and they don't move as quickly. Maybe more sellers jump on. Maybe Amazon jumps on. And so we have inventory that's over here on Amazon that's just not moving. Ultimately, that ties up our capital. Being able to utilize another marketplace, we can list that same product over here on eBay. And if it sells on eBay, we can fulfill it out of our inventory from Amazon. And so that way, if maybe we didn't listen and we bought way too much, that's something to help move that kind of inventory. Or if we bought it and for some reason it's just a dud, you guys, we've all bought duds. No one is exempt from buying duds, but having another marketplace, that helps because you've got it listed in another marketplace. You can fulfill it right out of your inventory and ship it directly to the customer. Adding in another marketplace just for returns, boom, it helps the productivity, helps keep cash flow moving, and then you have your space back and you can get into that zone when it's work time.
Welcome. Coach Candida and I are here to have a little bit of fun talking about how busy we've been in the last, Coach Candida, we kicked off our first ever eBay Multichannel Mastermind on Thursday, February 1st. I had to look it up last night. February 1st, man, how time flies.
It went quick.
Man, I was just talking about, oh my gosh, Candida, I can't believe how many listings. I was in the leaderboard last night. So folks, yes, today you're going to hear all things about eBay and how the wonderful interplay you can have as an Amazon seller utilizing eBay, not only in your back pocket, but probably your front pocket. So Coach Candida, your background, could you just give a little summary of your background with eBay so people have a frame and a context, because they know you as an Amazon coach for, about a good 4 years, but there's another story about you and eBay. So what does that look like?
Yeah, so before I even knew what Amazon was, I was selling on eBay 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I got, bored in the evenings. I had my normal job, my corporate job that I worked. But in the evenings, it was like, I need something else to do just to keep me busy. I didn't have any kiddos at the time. And so I started selling on eBay. And I dove headfirst in like I do all things. I just jump in and I figure it out along the way. And 20 years ago, there wasn't a group, there wasn't a community, there wasn't any training to help me know what I was doing correctly. It was really trial and error. So I jumped in, I sold a few things and I was like, oh, this works. And so when I say I dove headfirst, I ordered directly from China. I ordered, and then after I placed this huge order, it was, okay, well, how are you going to get it to the US? I had no idea that I had to figure that out when I placed my order, or I probably wouldn't have done it. But by that point, the order was placed, and so it was time. So then I had to figure out the shipping from China to the US. And then once it got to the US, how I was going to get that to my house. Well, I got a semi and it delivered, but guess what? It was a house. It wasn't a business. So they literally delivered the pallets to my driveway. And then when I got off of work, I would literally start, undoing the pallet and take the stuff in little by little into my house. And so that's how I got my start. And I quickly became a power seller. That was a badge that you got on eBay 20 years ago. And it took off. And my business did so well that I actually ended up putting some of those products in local beauty shops in a few states. And so that's really how I got started in e-commerce, and knowing that I could make money online and knowing that I could do all of the things. And so years later, when the Amazon opportunity came up, it was really kind of just that natural slide over because I already had my feet wet, so to speak, because I'd been doing eBay for so long. And then as an Amazon seller, eBay complements that, because if you sell on Amazon, you know that we're not approved to sell everything on Amazon. That's normal. We know that sometimes things get restricted after we've sent products in. And no matter how much work and preparation we put into buying really good products, sometimes those products don't sell or they get returned. And so having more than one marketplace really helps. And so I've been very big in having, multiple marketplaces in my e-commerce journey. because I never wanted to have all of my eggs in one basket. And so that's how they kind of complement each other. And I've been able to blend it all together.
All right. So that is an incredible backstory with the originations being eBay. Likewise for my family, originations with eBay from 23 years ago when I calculated it. But so I've been on the phone with a lot of folks over the last few weeks, both interviewing members who have come through the eBay Multichannel Mastermind. Those folks, as well as folks who are like, how does this, wait, no. I just gotta stay focused on Amazon. I don't know. This is gonna take me off task. So these are kind of some of the things that I've noted, kind of, I'll just call it a resistance in that I don't know if this quite makes sense. Let me just stick right here. So what we wanted to do today is break down how eBay actually works literally hand in glove. Hand in glove. I'm not going to say seamlessly because they're two separate platforms, but they truly work hand in glove, mostly from the perspective as an Amazon seller, how eBay can help you with, I'm just going to call it, some of the challenges that you can experience as an Amazon seller. And so I'm kind of to the point here, as I've just gone through the entire mastermind, is I'm concerned about the folks who don't really understand the value of what eBay can do for you. Yeah, you do have to learn some new stuff. But in my interviews, everyone's like, oh my gosh, Ann, this is so easy. This is so fun. So I want people to kind of release their tensions a little bit about, is this going to be as hard as it was with Amazon? No, it's not. But we're going to break it down with these 5 points. So we're going to start with flipping Amazon returns on eBay as the first point in consideration. It's kind of the main one. So do you want to talk to that, Candida, about how just dealing with your returns helps you as an Amazon seller having eBay?
Returns happen. I don't care what marketplace you're selling on, returns happen. It's just part of retail. And so as an Amazon seller, when we get returns, if they're not in pristine condition, not really recommended to send back into Amazon. We want our customers getting, everything new, no worries, no issues. And so, but those returns can start piling up. You definitely don't want that death pile staring at you day after day because it's going to suck the momentum out of you and it can really hinder progress. And so having another marketplace that you can sell items in, new or used, that helps where you can get your money out of those products. You can handle those returns and you can get those returns out of your space. That is the most important part. On eBay, you have to, you tell it, is it new or used? Or maybe it's like new, or maybe it's new, but the box is just really damaged. You can put all of those caveats in there, and then that way the customer knows exactly what to expect. That's the beauty of it. I would rather have another marketplace that I can flip my returns on than have them just taking up room in my office or in my garage, because I've heard of people doing that, and then it takes over and it's overwhelming. And so adding in another marketplace just for returns, boom, it helps the productivity, helps keep cash flow moving. And then, you have your space back and you can get into that zone when it's work time. And so for me, that's really important. I know if I slack on that and they start piling up, that's the first thing I see when I walk in my office. That's what I see when I'm sitting here. And I'm not giving my brain power to what I should because I know that that's nagging at me. So just having it part of the process really helps keep me engaged and moving forward in my business. So
Awesome.
that's how I handle returns.
Yeah, so that's number one. Everybody makes sense? And good morning to you, Anna. It's great to see Anna here. So we're going to move on to number 2, utilizing your stagnant inventory. So why don't you address how can you use eBay to help with your stagnant Amazon inventory?
Sometimes we get things and they don't move as quickly. Maybe more sellers jump on. Maybe Amazon jumps on. And so we have inventory that's over here on Amazon that's just not moving. Ultimately, that ties up our capital. Being able to utilize another marketplace, we can list that same product over here on eBay And if it sells on eBay, we can fulfill it out of our inventory from Amazon. And so that way, if maybe we didn't listen and we bought way too much, that's something to help move that kind of inventory. Or if we bought it and for some reason it's just a dud, and you guys, we've all bought duds. No one is exempt from buying duds, but having another marketplace that helps because you've got it listed in another marketplace. You can fulfill it right out of your inventory and ship it directly to the customer. And so that is a huge plus when we have inventory that just doesn't move like we expected it to.
And you can get it fulfilled. You list it on eBay and get it fulfilled straight out of your Amazon store.
Absolutely.
Okay. And number 3, we're heading into, so capitalizing on hot products where, oh, it looks awesome, but look at all these sellers. Normally, you'd put it right back on the shelf. Not so when you have eBay in your front pocket.
No, well, you're already out looking at the store and you're scanning and we're going, okay, we're analyzing all of the data. And sometimes there's just too many sellers and we're like, it's not selling enough to support those kind of sellers. Well, guess what? You can look over on eBay and see what does that marketplace look like? Can I sell it over here? And sometimes it sells for even more on another marketplace. And so you're able to still really take advantage of those hot sellers. Or you buy products and you list them on double marketplaces, and then you can take advantage of the sales on both. And I've done that. I have found some really great deals, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's selling like gangbusters over here on Amazon. Oh, look, I can sell it on eBay as well. And so I'm able to take that and multiply my rewards because I have it listed where more buyers can see it. And so that's really important when you find those good deals.
Awesome. We're on to number 4. Ooh, this one kind of hits a tender hot spot. Navigating product restrictions. When you're out scanning and pops up, restricted. So let's talk about how you address that issue by having eBay in your front pocket.
Restrictions are part of Amazon. Everyone has restrictions. It's not new. We all started as new sellers, and as new sellers, more products are restricted because that trust hasn't been built with Amazon yet. But that doesn't mean you can't still make some money by buying those products and selling over on eBay. Or it's happened. We send our products in, we're approved to sell, and they get there and something changes and we're no longer allowed to sell it. So we've got to recall that inventory. And then what do we do with it? Having another marketplace, it just helps solve some of the issues that we run into as Amazon sellers. It doesn't mean that Amazon is bad. It just means that we are being proactive because we know some of these road bumps are going to happen. It's normal. It's part of being a business owner, and we're able to pivot and navigate into another marketplace as we need to. And so anytime that happens, if it's a good seller, I'm still going to list it over here and try to get that money out of it. It's better doing that than it's sitting here taking up space. And so I'm all about that, but restrictions are normal, and eBay doesn't have the type of restrictions that Amazon has. And so we're able to get around that with a lot of the products and just get them sold and keep moving forward.
Yeah, that's huge because that we know is a frustration point for our Amazon sellers. The good news is that's not what it's like over on eBay. Different platforms, different rules. Now, this last one isn't so much about solving, problems that you may deal with as an Amazon seller. This is more like, no, just expand your market reach. So let's talk about that big picture view. Why would that be so beneficial?
We can list the same products on multiple marketplaces. And what we're doing then is we're able to reach more buyers. We've got the Amazon buyers, we've got the eBay buyers. And so by putting the same product on multiple marketplaces, it just expands our reach and it gives us more opportunities for sale. I like that. I like having more opportunities. I like selling on different ones. It makes a good buy even better when I can go, okay, I'm going to put these on Amazon, I'm going to put these on eBay, and then they all sell. I'm able to capture both marketplaces. And it really adds up when you're listing one product. It's the same amount of effort. It's the same amount, boom, 2 marketplaces, and I can reap the rewards.
Yeah, I'm so glad we went through these, Candida, because I'm talking to a lot of people, and it kind of pains me when I hear people say, no, I'm just going to stick with Amazon for now. I'm like, you're missing out. All those things that you have restrictions on when you're scanning, whether local or you're doing your online arbitrage, and you hit that roadblock, you can ease that tension because there's good products that you get from the Amazon data that you can then utilize and leverage over on eBay. So it's like they're just missing out on making their pie that much bigger. So that's why I wanted to go through these 5 points with everybody. And then something just popped in my mind that I need to mention. So I had one of our members reach out to me. She's been a member for about 3 years with us, and she had some questions. And that's great because I'm willing to do a one-on-one with anybody who's watching. You're like, I have some questions, Anne, because I've been meeting with a lot of folks. She's doing about $700,000 to $800,000 a year right now. And she was a previous eBay seller and actually is doing more through eBay than Amazon, kind of more by incident. She said, I just got lucky, Anne. But the point being, she wants to do even better with her eBay business. But I just want to encourage and let you folks know, this is a seller who's using both platforms, eBay and Amazon. She's got the good fortune. Her mom and dad, ages 76 and 83, they do everything, all the packaging and shipping, and she's the one who kind of manages all the inventory. But I'll just say, this can be really big money. She's leveraging both, all right? So think big picture. You can do really, really big things when you leverage the two together.